And Mario, here, it's a quick video to show you kind of what our current warm-up is, that way you can do it in the gym. Some of the things you can do alternating versions of, depending on how comfortable you feel getting on the floor, and depending on how public the gym is. If you feel cool about doing it on the floor, great. If you need to do some alternating versions, I'm sure you can play around with some different things to make it a little easier to do, whether it be just sitting on a bench versus getting on the floor, or vice versa, whatever it needs to do. But either way, I'm going to run through some options here, and then we'll get started. So the first thing that we're going to work on is going to be some type of breathing. Currently, we're doing a quadruped kind of breathing, so we're going to be on hands and knees. Again, if this feels uncomfortable to do in the gym, depending on how many people in the gym, who's around you and such, you can always do it standing or even sitting on a bench and just kind of placing your hands here and working on inhaling in through your nose, trying to fill your fan your belly in all directions here, and then exhaling that air out. But if you do feel cool about getting on the floor, what we're going to work on is getting into all fours. So we're kind of being in this position here, the tabletop, trying to get your spine to be as neutral as you can. We're going to be working on just, again, inhaling in through your nose as best as you can. So begin. Should be feeling some tension building through here. As you exhale out, again through the mouth. All right, so just practicing a couple of deep breaths there. Usually I would say 30 seconds to a minute. That should be plenty of time there. We're then going to go to side lying positions. Again, this can be done seated if you'd like to. Basically what we're working on is rotational through the thoracic spine, so trying to get this to move without really necessarily moving this. I'll show you the one on the floor, but it can be easily done seated or otherwise. So we're going to go side lying. So we're going to be laying on your side here. I'm going to have your knees tucked up to your chest, this kind of like in the fetal position. I like to have my hand on top of my knees here. This keeps this base stable. We're going to take your top hand, reaching it out in front of you. Make sure to reach out in front so we can stretch back here instead of just having it like this and going around your head. You want to be reaching out in front. From here, we're going to try to keep your hand as close to the floor as you can as you go around your head. Whatever feels comfortable, no pinching or pain here. As I go around, I got the sled behind me, but as you go around, we're gonna end up here. So again, opening up through the chest here. Try not to let your shoulder look like this, so I don't want it to drive forward. Try to open up the chest, allow that to open up. This is where you'll see a lot of the movement through here. You're gonna wanna do this kind of type movement. So make sure these are staying stacked and in place. Once you get to here, we're going to just kind of close the book and reach back over. So again, we're just focusing in on trying to open up a little bit through here. So this can be easily done sitting or standing. So if you're sitting on a box, you can easily just go here and try your best to open up and come back forward that way. Easily done sitting on the floor or on a bench. Just again, trying to open up and get some of this moving here. From there, we're gonna go ahead and get into, always forget, the hip car. So this one can be done standing again, or it can be done kneeling. We do it on the floor. This can be done easily standing though. So we're going to be doing quadruped again. So we're going back to this position here. Now the first thing we're going to work on is taking 1 foot away and reaching it up to your forearm. As you do this, try your best not to lean your body weight into one side. So from this angle here, it looks like we'll go here. And a lot of times we see a lot of people want to shift their weight over this way. Try to keep everything somewhat centered. So again, from here, looking at knee up to the forearm, knee will come out like a dog in a fire hydrant. And then we're going to kind of wrap the knee around and back through. So again, as you do that, try your best not to go into extension. So we don't want this to be here. We're going to go knee up, knee out. Watch the range of motion, keep your back neutral, and back through. Again, if you're going crazy with this range, you'll end up kind of going here. We don't necessarily want that to happen. So again, try your best to keep your spine neutral. Same thing can be done standing, like I mentioned. I would hold on to something for some stability, but again, knee can come up, knee kind of comes out this way. It can wrap and then back through. So a similar thing can be done, again, depending on how comfortable you feel like getting on and off the floor. It can be done standing, just as easily done. Next, we're gonna go into a tall kneeling position, or again, this can be done standing. Tall kneeling position for some spinal cars. So nice tall posture, both knees down, hands across the chest like this. We're gonna be doing a slight crunch without moving hips. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. But the idea here is that we're going to slightly crunch down, just about as much as we need to. If you're going here, you're going too much. So I don't wanna move hips. Okay, hips are gonna stay this way the whole time. So slight crunch down, I'm going to rotate to one side, doesn't matter which way you go. We're then going to lean back. And again, as you lean back, I don't want the hips to drive forward and go this way and be moving through here. We're only going to be moving up here, so we're not moving hips. So slightly crunching, rotating, leaning back. Try your best not to let your hips move. All the way around to the other side. You can come back the way that you came, if that helps you, or you can continue on just the same circle, 2 or 3 times each thing. For everything, usually 2 or 3 times each side is plenty. I didn't say that earlier, but 2 or 3 in each direction is usually going to be plenty on those for all that stuff. From there, we're going to go into a single leg reach. So this one can be done standing. We're going to be holding on if we need to. If you feel like you're wobbling a lot, you can always just hold on to something for some support. So I'm going to hold on to this, take my right hand, or sorry, this is my left hand, to my right foot, and then it'll turn it around, and I'm going to do right hand to left foot over here. So left to right, right to left. We're going to be working on hinging your butt, so I don't necessarily want you to do this and round your back. As you can see, my back is rounded, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping my chest and my spine neutral. So hips are going to drive back as I go down. Not necessarily reaching, I'm just letting my chest drop naturally as my hips go back. So not necessarily reaching for the floor here, I'm just allowing this to help me go back and then come back through. And then again, you would turn around and you would do the same thing on the other side. Again, allowing yourself to hinge and do there. Last thing, we usually have people do a couple body weight squats, getting just the quads to kind of warm up a little bit as I fall backwards. Just getting in whatever range feels comfortable at the given time, getting these warmed up for you. If you want to add in any kind of cardio stuff, whether it be just a little bit of skipping, we've been doing this as well, just to kind of get yourself warmed up, loosened up a little bit. But other than that, Mario, that is basically the warm-up that we've been doing. If there's anything else I'd like to do at the end that makes you feel good or helps you warm up, feel free to do that. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me, myself, or Michelle, and we'll make sure we get going.